What's up, YouTubers? It's Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Man, let's get into this Marvel legacy. I was kind of hesitant because I was reading this, and full disclosure, I was at work when I did it. But I was reading this comic, and man, it really did something for me. I don't know what, but it did something for me. Marvel Legacy is the next run after Secret Empire. So going into this, we're going to kind of touch on some of the beats that are going on in this book and maybe see if we can suss out what may be coming up next. Before we dig in, I post new videos every week. Make sure to click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers, and also tap that bell button so you make sure you don't miss anything. Okay, so the first thing, and this is the thing I have been excited about, I made a video about it before, the Avengers of 1 million BC. This is gonna be the shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. When we open up Marvel Legacy, we open up on a shot 1 million years ago on Earth during the Stone Age, and we see Mjolnir just laying in the dirt. And it's like, oh dude, where's this going? And there's, this narration that's coming over, and we don't really know who's narrating. And there's these cavemen trying to lift Mjolnir. I mean, I'm talking about giving it all, doing it for all it's worth. And then Odin shows up and is like, dude, piss the fuck off. I'm trying to get my shit going. Leave my damn hammer alone. Originally, when I thought we were going to see Odin 1 million years in the past, I was kind of hoping that he would be maybe a slightly different person, but no, he is still the same jaded son of a bitch that we have seen since forever. And I love how him and the Phoenix have a really nice dynamic. I guess what would be maybe not the original Phoenix, but one of the earlier Phoenix Force hosts. And I love the dynamic, man. They have a little bit of banter back and forth. The thing that's really telling here is that Odin cannot pick up Mjolnir as easily as he would like. He has to struggle to pick it up. He can lift it, but he has to work at it. And I love the fact that the Phoenix is pointing out to him, have you ever thought about the fact that maybe whenever you unleash it on your foes, maybe it really doesn't want to come back to you? And man, you can just tell that's pissing him off. But the thing that's really cool here is that we get to see the other Avengers of 1 million BC. I was kind of thinking they were going to kind of hold them back for a little bit. Nah, man, they're putting them all out front and center, man. We get to see Black Panther. We get to see the original Starbrand, one of the earlier Iron Fists. And we also get to see Agamotto. And we don't get to see him doing a lot. But one thing we do get to see is that Ghost Rider and Starbrand kind of have a little bit of a thing between themselves too, which is going to come up a little bit later. What lets you know the stakes are high is that these guys are up against a freaking Celestial, a giant space god. So, and they're getting ready to put in work on this dude. And that's really all we see of the Avengers of 1 million BC. And it's not a lot, but I tell you what, it's enough. It's plenty enough. The rest of the book does a lot of flipping back and forth between other stories going on, but Robbie Reyes, the current Ghost Rider, we get to see a lot of him in this book. Apparently he's been sleep driving. There's a little bit of a exposition where he just kind of is like, dude, I was in East LA last night, and he wakes up and he is literally in Cape Town, South Africa. It's first off, not only did he sleep drive, he slept drive and went across a freaking ocean and got to Cape Town, South Africa. So yeah, so there's that. But as he's driving away, trying to get away from some cops that are, that were checking up on him for vagrancy, I guess for sleeping in his car, because it's a thing. Starbrand attacks him and is like, dude, I cannot let you go where you're trying to go. And he's being really cryptic. One of the things I can't stand, I hate in comics where characters play the pronoun game. Instead of just outright saying, hey, I'm trying to stop you from doing fill in the blank thing, they usually use a lot of he's and thems and that's and it's, and not telling the person that they're talking to the pertinent information they should probably say when they are having a conversation. And Starbrand does that a little bit. It kind of upsets me. But what it comes down to is that they get into a fight, and it is kind of a brutal one. And I'm not gonna lie, Starbrand is getting that ass. No joke. Ghost Rider is getting his shit pushed in. But the thing that's really cool about it too is that the fight goes on long enough that Robbie Reyes he's got a lot of heart, and he's making a comeback on this, and he does get his licks in. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I have not read any of the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider run. There's a specific spot where he's like, hey man, maybe I can't hurt you, with fists, but maybe I can jack you up with a penance stare, and hits him with it. And at first I was thinking, it ain't gonna work on Starbrand. It works. it 100% works. And Starbrand is wrecked by the penance stare. The thing that blew my mind is that Robbie Reyes is saying that I didn't know I could do the penance stare. So he's been Ghost Rider all this time, did not know he could do the penance stare. That is crazy to me. That is crazy talk. And of course, the fight's over and he goes on about his business, and he drives off towards this archaeological dig that Starbrand apparently was trying to keep him away from. And we find out at an earlier point that somebody has been digging into this place in South Africa. But what is he actually going into? We don't know yet. And apparently, he's going into this archaeological site, and he doesn't realize it. And this archaeological site is the final resting place of the Celestial that was defeated by the Avengers of 1 million BC at the very beginning of this comic. And the Celestial begins waking up, and it's talking about summoning the final host and cleansing them all and all this other stuff. I mean, it's checking off all the boxes on ominous things that, you don't want to hear coming out of a giant, space god. We get to see some other stuff in here too. Deadpool's being hunted down by the police because of the death of Agent Coulson. Sakar's been sending messages for the Hulk, beckoning him to come home, though he's not the one listening to them. So I mean, I don't know what the purpose of that was. We also get to see Human Torch and the Thing in a little bit of a, because they're going to be doing kind of doing a duo comic coming up here later in the year. I know a lot of people were thinking maybe this is like a soft reintroduction to the Fantastic Four, like they're going to kind of piggyback the Fantastic Four back into the Marvel Universe off of that, but yeah, I mean, that's neither here nor there. But I mean, they're making a point that the Fantastic Four will not be forgotten. And the Thing shoots a flare up into the air, and it creates the Fantastic Four symbol the same way that Johnny Storm would do, in his Human Torch form. So I thought that was a nice touch. Another thing I've noticed is that apparently Norman Osborn tried to break into the Sanctum Sanctorum for some reason. And the thing is, it wasn't like an accident. Like, Green Goblin legit tried to break in. I mean, granted, not wearing the Green Goblin garb, but just as Norman Osborn, he tried to break in. And apparently he's looking for a source of power. So that is kind of a little bit of a tease as to what Marvel Legacy might be leaning towards. There's also some cutbacks to Asgardia with a little bit of Thor, and apparently one of the royal viziers has pretty much thrown himself off the Bifrost and killed himself because he's seen something, though they don't really tell us what it is, but they're letting us know that something is happening. Something's moving in the background. One of the other things is that, we also find Loki is working with the Black Ice Berserkers in Jotunheim, and he has tasked them with finding a crate. And this crate, mind you, is of some special importance to Loki. And he won't say what it is, but it's very clear he's manipulating the Frost Giants, the Black Ice Berserkers, into doing this because, well, he just doesn't want to do it. But whatever this crate is, it has some special significance to Loki in that it's something in it. There's some power that he is trying to get after. There was an interview on IGN with Marvel editor-in-chief Axel Alonso, and he was actually talking about some of the beats in this, and I want to say he did say something I never thought about when I was reading this, is that the crate number that Loki tells the Black Ice Berserkers to go get from S.H.I.E.L.D. is crate number 4-1939. And I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was just a random string of numbers, but apparently that is actually signifying the release date, April 1939, the release date of Marvel Comics number 1, which featured Namor the Submariner. Now, granted, he didn't confirm that that was going to be of any significance. The way he deflected the question was pretty much like you just have to wait and see. But yeah, so Loki sends the Black Ice Berserkers to what we realize is a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility to go and retrieve a crate. And of course, in typical fashion, Loki is not telling them everything and is probably up to some shit. Once they leave, he does openly admit, he's like, hey, I am a liar, but this time, I'm here to save the world. And yeah, we go to the S.H.I.E.L.D. facility, and the Black Ice Berserkers attack. They're coming for this crate, but we also find out that before they attack, that, you know, the military that's coming to pick this up from S.H.I.E.L.D., because S.H.I.E.L.D. has been completely disbanded, and they have to transport all this stuff. There's so many things that they have documented in this warehouse, except for the crate that Loki sent them after. Crate number 4-1939. And of course, what would this comic be without a little bit of Avengers action? I love the fact Sam Wilson suits up as Captain America one last time, and Lady Thor shows up, which now they're actually just referring to her as Mighty Thor, which is what I will do for the remainder, and probably all other future videos. They are wrecking shop, and they're taking these guys out. And of course, they're having a little flirting, because Sam Wilson and Jane Foster kind of have a little bit of a thing. So I think that's pretty awesome. And Ironheart shows up and helps out. And I thought it was kind of cute the fact that they were going to try and have an Avengers Assemble moment and it just didn't come together. But they end up defeating the Black Ice Berserkers, but one of them gets away. The one that gets away ends up getting the crate. And when he tries to, you know, skulk off with the crate, he ends up getting smashed. Like this big 18-wheeler just lays into him, and you're just like, dude, what the hell? Door opens, some boots hit the ground, and we start to wonder, well, wait a minute, who is this? Because, I mean, whoever it is, they definitely got dialogue. And there's somebody walking up with one of those Australian Outback hats or some kind of cowboy hat or something. You realize who it is real fast when you see that classic schnick. And it's Wolverine. Wolverine is now back. This is not Old Man Logan. He has been resurrected. And you get as much, at least from a little bit of dialogue, from young Jean Grey. And I love it because he guts the Black Ice Berserker, sits his beer inside him because the Black Ice Berserkers, they're literally, they emit cold, and just sits the beer inside the chest cavity he just laid in this guy. He takes the suitcase that was inside the crate, and when he opens it up, we realize that what Loki was after was an Infinity Stone. Specifically, it's the Mind Gem. Later on, we kind of uncover that the Guardians of the Galaxy are also out there looking for it too. They're looking for the Infinity Stones, and apparently, the Infinity Stones have been popping up on the radar. And this is also when we discover that Loki has found the site where the Celestial is, the archaeological dig site. And, you know, of course, it's still saying, summon the final host. And Loki is agreeing with him. He's like, yeah, we should totally do that. And there's a lot of other stuff going on here. They show some of the other characters, what they're doing, some flashbacks and some other stuff. We just see Captain America, like legit Captain America, you know, sitting in a diner, you know, hanging out, just trying to, you know, keep his head down, keep a low profile. And of course, you know, he's still suffering from the events of Secret Empire, so that's still a thing. Because, I mean, I don't think they're going to let Cap off the hook as easily as a lot of fans thought that they would. And we also get to see that it looks like Black Panther's getting a little bit of an origin retcon, because now we see that Wakanda is now an intergalactic empire. So that's cool. I'm totally down for that. I don't really have a lot of insight on this, but from what I understand, going back to that same interview I spoke about earlier with Axel Alonso, the Marvel editor-in-chief, and I'm going to quote him here, is that he says, all I'll say is that Black Panther writer Ta-Nehisi Coates has got a huge story planned for the Black Panther that will have ramifications for more than just Wakanda or his own series. And he said that when Ta-Nehisi unveiled it at a summit in his customarily modest fashion, jaws dropped. And that's all I need to hear. That is all I need to hear about Black Panther, because I feel like they are finally doing this brother some justice. We finally figure out who our narrator was this whole time. And come to find out, our narrator was Valeria Richards. And her and Franklin Richards are just out there floating around in space, because we got to remember, at the end of Secret Wars, the 2015 one, not the 1984 one that I did the video series on, and I'll delve more into it, you know, the reasons why in a video that I make for that at some point. Reed and Sue Richards have decided to rebuild the multiverse that was destroyed at the end of Secret Wars. So that's a thing. And Valyria is focused on our version of Earth, Earth 616. And you can tell that, like, she wants to come back. That you know, she's still watching everything that's going on. She's still keeping up with it. And events are being shaped. Because basically, she wants to go home. Thinking about some of the things that are coming forward, we know that the Infinity Stones are going to play into it. I'm pretty sure that what Norman Osborn was going after, when he went after the Sanctum Sanctorum, he was probably also going after an Infinity Stone. We know that Loki was going after them. Wolverine has one in his possession. It also makes me wonder just how much Black Panther is going to be involved in any of the Infinity Stone shenanigans. We know the Sakaar is trying to come back into play too, so there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And this book was a really good read. I will say this, no criticism, it kind of reminds me of how integral reading DC Rebirth #1, the one shot that they did to kind of kick off the Rebirth imprint for DC Comics, it kind of reminds me of what that was like. I feel like if you don't read this, you probably won't be lost, but there are going to be some plot threads that might catch you off guard. And another thing we have to keep into account too is that the Avengers of 1 million BC have been confirmed to play very heavily in next year's Legacy lineup, so we want to make sure we keep an eye on that. And I'm going to go ahead and call it, I don't know exactly what's up with Deadpool, but I'm pretty sure he's going to have shenanigans as usual. And of course, Captain America is going to be pretty much doing a walking the world. He's going to be doing a world tour, traveling the United States, basically trying to do damage control for what happened in his name in Secret Empire. So yeah, that's everything. I just wanted to kind of gush a little bit on it and kind of go over a little bit of it. I was really excited when I read this because I've been really looking forward to this. I always like when new stuff is coming up. So, and this looked like it'd be kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people have their issues with Secret Empire, but the type of story that it was very, very dark and dour, and I'm ready to get back into some optimism. So let me know what you all are looking forward to in Marvel Legacy. And if you've read Marvel Legacy #1, let me know what you guys think in the comments about it. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, click the like button. And if you haven't already done so, click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers and tap that bell button so you don't miss any videos that I post. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Plus Ultra.